Stay home, stay safe. My name is Afaq, Mazher, and I am an engineering student of Mechanical Engineering Department at University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore, Pakistan. And first of all, I would like to request the judges that kindly excuse my accent because I'm not from America, I'm from Asia, so this is the way I'll be speaking. So first of all, the thing is that it is a matter of back in 2019 November when I came across the early career mechanical engineering talks and videos, something like that. Such kind of a portal was there on ASME website. So as soon as I got in contact with that thing, I learned that there was engineers with different backgrounds, although all of them were from a mechanical engineering department, and they were serving in different industries and different departments in the United States, and they were sharing their experiences, especially for the early career mechanical engineers. But their advice was so much amazing that it was useful for any engineering engineer at any level of his or her career. So the thing is that all of the advice which I got from those expert mechanical engineers, I listed down all of the things that stood out for me, and I've got today to share all of those things with you guys. So I've actually listed down 10 key points, which were the points that stood out for me, and I think that are valuable for any engineer at any level of expertise in his career. So the first of all, the first thing is that what are engineers or what are mechanical engineers? Engineers are basically the problem solvers who shape the world, who shape the future, who solve the daily life problems and make our life more healthy, safe, and bring happiness to our society by solving the challenges which the society is facing at this point in time. Secondly, there were three main things mentioned to become a successful engineer. So what was it? First one is the need to try. Because when you get there, when you are a student, the things are different. But when you actually get there, you need to step ahead. You need to get out of your comfort zone. So when you grow and you learn only when you get yourself out of your comfort zone. Second thing is learning attitude. Because I remember that while I was an internee and I was doing internship, I was so much eager to learn that I would ask the questions to the workers, I would take the notes, I would do the work with my own hands. And I ended up getting the feedback from my supervisor that I was the person with the most learning attitude they've ever had. Third thing is that listen. The more you listen, the more you learn. And actually about listening, it is something important, and that I've recently read a book of Dale Carnegie on how to win friends and influence people. And he actually mentioned a person named as John. And he was a person who never ever got rejected from any kind of job interview. Do you want to know that what was his strength? He mentioned that his strength was listening. He was able to listen what the interviewers were saying, and this was the strength that made him to the government services, and that was the person who made it even to the speechwriter of the president in the United States. So this is the power of listening. Next thing is important lessons you have learned from the first year of engineering. One engineer I remember, he shared the experiences he learned in first year. First of all, when you are in the first year of your experience, go to the mentors. Ask for their mentorship, because these are the people who are having the experiences which you don't have. So just move to them, reach out to them, reach out to the veterans. Okay. And third thing is adaptability is something you need to develop. Adapt to the changes so that you can move forward. Fourth thing is the skills and abilities needed to excel at work. Do you want to know that what are those particular skills and abilities? Those things are once again the adaptability. Second thing is better communication with the client. Because if you know what, if you are good at communicating the stuff to the people who are outside the organization, you're gonna earn the respect which no one else does have actually. Third thing is always go to the supervisor and ask him for the feedback so that you could improve yourself, so that you could learn what are the things you need to improve and you need to work on. Fifth thing is being reciprocal. And what does that mean? It actually inculcates three things. First one is network. Try to grow your network as far as it is possible. And one of the things that I actually wanna bust a myth about networking, we always take networking for ourselves. But let me tell you what, that networking, if you want people to network for them, if you want them to if you want to get them network for you, first try to network for them, try to solve their problems, work for them, provide what matters to them. Then you are going to get network them for you ultimately. Second thing is be honest with whatever you are doing. And third thing is try to understand the power of your network. Never underestimate the power of your network, even if that network includes a worker in the industry, it could be anything. Sixth thing is the art of chit chat and how actually you get there. First of all, embrace the vulnerability. Like when there is an experiment, then there was two sellers, two actors who were actually selling two different kind of products. One was completely perfect and others made a little mistake. And when the feedback was being asked about those, then the people gave the most good feedback about the person who showed his vulnerability. So vulnerability actually creates more sympathy and empathy with you people as compared to those who are not that much vulnerable. Second thing is try to engage with your surroundings. And how are you going to do that? Just look around in your surrounding. It could be your neighbor, it could be the person in the next department, it could be the person sitting right next to you in your department, and you might not have bothered to engage with him. You never know, because I remember there was a person, she was a girl from some mechanical engineering background, and she mentioned that she just sat with a person who was his neighbor, and ultimately he ended up knowing that he was a person who was a great celebrity, and he just had good connection and network with him. And in the same way, she sat with a person I remember she was going from Chicago to some other kind of state, and in that 1 hour flight, she made such a good connection with a person, and that person happened to be a bank manager or something, and she ended up landing a job offer. So the last thing is practice, practice, and practice. The more you practice, the more you'll be learning. Okay. So the next thing is that switching technical stuff to the non-technical audiences. Because we engineers are in a practice to always to present the technical stuff to the technical people. But what if we have ever come across in a condition in which we're required to present technical stuff to the non-technical audience? In such a condition, just start with the bigger picture. Like if there is a person who doesn't know the bigger picture of the thing, start with the bigger picture, with a bigger idea, and then get to the thing which matters the most to that particular kind of audience. Next thing is follow your passion, and for that, challenge. You should have the challenge, and you should have the courage to challenge the status quo, that what's going on around, and that takes the courage, and that takes getting out of your comfort zone and embrace the challenges, embrace the adversities as the opportunities. And then third thing is embrace the change happening around. Okay. So the second last part which I am going to describe here is technical writing. To be a good technical writer, you have to know your audience. Like, what is your audience? If you are in a college, your audience is definitely your professor. But if you are in a corporate sector, your audience is your supervisor or the boss or whoever is there. Last but not the least is leadership in engineering. And I still remember the story told by Mitch Warren, who was an amazing person, and his speech or his talk was the one that stood out for me. And that was actually, he mentioned that he worked with his own hands in first years or in early years of his career. He was so much, passionate about his work that he worked. And when he worked with his own hands, he sought to understand the things. Then he made even the manager position. He was in the Ford audio and video company. And the way he described leadership was something amazing. You want to know what that was? So that was actually, he described the leadership as water, or a leader as water, as rigid as ice, as flexible as vapors, and as dynamic in between state, as fluent as the liquid. So leadership is all about being dynamic in your personality. Sometimes you have to get hard on the things, and sometimes you need to be more flexible. But there is a time that when you just go with the flow, and there are different requirements. So that's all from my side. Yes. So I really apologize in the beginning if I'm unable to speak anybody's name because I've mentioned that I'm not from America, so that I might get anybody's name wrong. If I ever get anybody's name wrong, I'm apologizing for that. So now I would like to admire all the people and I would like to give credit to them who helped me getting here and sharing all that stuff with you guys. So first of all, I would like to thank Miss Kishi, who has been a former Eclipse intern at SME, and she helped me a lot. Like she answered my queries and advised me on all that stuff. Secondly, I would like to thank Miss Abiluchukov Jaifer, who is working for Shell, and she is an engineer there. And she also helped me a lot, like answering my queries and advising me on all that stuff, like the skills and abilities needed to work as an engineer and to solve problems. Third is the person, Mr. Hassan Akhtar, who lives in Canada and who works for Lincoln Electric. He has also been very helpful for me. And how can I forget Mr. Mitch Warren, whose story, as I mentioned, that in the leadership part, that what it takes to be a good leader and love, like what is actually leadership. And fourth is a person, Mr. Sean Burkham. I'm really thankful to him as well. His talk was really inspiring and the stuff he shared, all that thing. And how can I forget Miss Jennifer Cooper? She's working for Boeing and in the design department there. Her advice is, in her interview and her talk, both of these things were amazing. And last but not the least is Mr. Ahmed Fareed, who has been very cooperative to me and in making all these videos. And this would not have ever been possible without his help. And I'm thankful to all the listeners, all the audience, and viewers and the judges for giving their time to listen to my stuff. Thank you very much.